Hello all, this is Robert with a TechGeek 311 iOS 8 tutorial. Now as you guys know, as of yesterday, September 17th, Apple finally released the final version of iOS 8 to the public. It's for all devices iPhone 4S on up and iPads 2 on up. So if you have anything below an iPhone 4S, you're not going to be able to install this. And if you have anything below an iPad 2, you will not be able to install this. Now I didn't do a how to update video on this, so I put the links below in my description on what I did on how to update the iPad and how to update the iPhone for iOS 7. It's pretty much the exact same thing. The only difference is you're going to get a setting that's going to ask you for iCloud Drive. That's about the only difference you're going to get. Everything else is going to be the same. So be sure to watch those two videos. The links are below. And then you can see how exactly to update your devices for the new iOS 8. Before I get started in this tutorial, I want to show you of a kind of a bug that was in there, but it just happened to hit my device only. So I've got the two devices here, the iPad and I've got my iPhone 5. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull down the notification center on the iPad, and on the bottom you're going to see a big thing saying edit. When you tap on edit, you're going to get this screen now. It gives you today's summary, traffic, calendar, and then below it's going to give you the widgets that you can add to the notification center. Well, if you look on my iPhone, if I pull it down and I tap on edit, you notice that they don't appear, that they're blank. I don't know what happened upon my install of iOS 8. Something happened and I didn't end up getting the same thing that everyone else is getting on the notification center for the edit. Not quite sure what happened there. I'm not really going to bother fixing my phone, which would require an entire reset and restore and all that, because I've got an iPhone 6 Plus coming in on pre-order, and that's going to have a fresh copy of iOS 8. So if you guys have this issue right here, and it's on your primary device, then you're going to have to end up resetting that entire device back, restoring everything back from iCloud in order to fix it. So I wanted to just show you guys that real quick. So let me get the iPad out of here and let's go into the phone. Alright, so now basically iOS 8 is very similar to iOS 7, but there's a couple of differences. For example, I got this alert just came in. We're having a lot of storms over here. Alright, now if you look at the top bar, you're going to see only today and notifications, and that's it. That's your only two. There's no more of this all, there's no more miss, none of that. Now, they're going to give you two ways to get rid of these notifications. If you tap it, it goes directly into it. If you slide it towards the left, you're now going to get another little X that you can delete it with. You can always tap that X on the top right corner and hit clear, or you can slide it across and hit the X and it'll go away. So now they give you some new swipe gestures you can do. So that's something new in Notification Center. There's not much else in Notification Center except the widgets, but I can't show you on my phone. That's what I showed you on the iPad. Now if you swipe up, you're going to get your Control Center, which looks a little different but doesn't have any of those things that we were talking about as far as the betas and all that, where you can move the apps around. Apparently you cannot in this version, but it's a lot cleaner. The best part is if you dim the screen, the whole screen will actually dim with it. You can't actually see in this video, but if you actually use the dimmer, you'll see what I'm talking about. The rest of the stuff pretty much stayed the same on those two. Now, all your apps and icons, none of those have changed really. You've got them all pretty much the same. Only difference is if you go into here, for one, iBooks is now default, so it's a stock app. You go in here, Podcast is now a stock app. So those two are now stock apps. And then you're going to get these two new ones. You're going to get the Health app, which is not active right now because they had some issues. And you're going to get the tips on how to use iOS 8. Those two are going to come pre-installed when you install iOS 8. The rest of your apps, the rest of your stuff pretty much works the same. Like I said, they're going to include those widgets, which I won't be able to show you guys right now. But as soon as I get my iPhone 6 Plus, I'm going to do another video on that and I'll be able to show you what I'm talking about. Alright, so we're going to go right in here to the settings, and pretty much you can see mostly the settings are the same. If you go to notifications now, you're not going to get all those tabs on the top like you used to have. You're going to get all the same stuff, all the same apps just like you had before. None of that's changed. Control Center, same thing. Nothing's changed. Do Not Disturb is the same. Now, under General, you get this new setting called Display and Brightness. You can now control those two in its own setting. Wallpapers, basically the same stuff. Sounds, passcode, and privacy stay all the same. But if I go into General, in General you're going to have pretty much most of your settings the same, except in Background App Refresh now. It's going to do a little different things in here, even though you can still turn them on and off. As far as iCloud, you'll notice that iCloud is now changed to the iCloud Drive. Okay, right here, this is where the iCloud Drive is. The top's going to be your main profile. You're going to have a setting here to set your family sharing. It's going to show you your storage, so now that's separate. Of course, you're going to have your iCloud Drive. Then, right here, of course, you're going to get the new thing where you have your backup separate, keychain, and your Find My iPhone. And then they're going to give you your mail for your iCloud, your Share My Location then. So all that's things of iCloud right here. Then under iTunes and App Store now you're going to get all this similar to what you had before, but you're going to get this new tab called Use Cellular Data. Unfortunately, I've tried this, and it did not update my apps automatically. It would sell data, so if it works for you, great. Mine could just have a bug or a glitch. I don't know what it is. I'll try it with the iPhone 6 Plus and let you know. Okay, mail and contacts, basically the same. Your messages, you're going to have pretty much the same information here, except down here on the bottom, you're going to get this new setting where you can keep your messages. You can say 30 days, a year, or forever. You're going to get a new setting now because you're going to have new features called audio messages and video messages. Same thing. You can have it expire after 2 minutes or up to 30 days. You can even have it raised to listen if you want to. Same thing with your video messages. FaceTime, Maps, Compass, Safari, none of those have changed in here. Your photos and camera now you're going to have a new thing called My Photo Stream and the iCloud photo sharing. That's going to go along with your family sharing. You can even go to summarizing photos, and the rest of the stuff on the bottom is the same. Of course, podcast and iBooks, like I said, those two are now considered stock apps. So you click into any one of those, and those are going to give you the information for your book information or podcast information. You have your same social statuses down here. Then down here on the bottom now, you get all your applications. But one difference is, if you click into your applications from here, they're going to give you more information now. You're going to, like this one, for example, gives you privacy, background app refresh, and cellular data. So you can add all that information in there. If I go onto this app here, I'm going to get a few more different settings. Now I'm going to get notifications, privacy, and that. So I go to notifications, I have all my notification settings right here within the app itself. So that's also good. And all your apps are going to show up, or at least the majority. I have found those a couple that were missing. So that's what's going to be different on your settings for iOS 8. Now, of course, go into messages. Like I said, I got a message right here. Alright, so if I tap on the message, this is for our massive weather we've got going on here in Texas. Right here on the top right, you're going to see details. I click on details. You're going to get the details on who sent it to you. You're going to get the information about sending your current location or share your location, and then you have this Do Not Disturb button. So if you're in a group message and you don't want to be in that message anymore, you can hit Do Not Disturb. You can even get the chance to leave the message if you wanted to. Now, when you go to text, here's something that's new. If you notice on the bottom here, there's a lot of letters and all that. Okay, it's called predictive text. It's a new thing that they added in iOS 8. So you can say something like, "Oh no, it's raining," something like that. And you notice how it's typing on the bottom. I can just choose the words it's typing, and then I can hit send if I want to send it. This one won't go through because this is for a station. Now with photos, you can tap on photos, and of course you get the same choice. Now I don't have any photos in my photo library on my phone right now, but if I did, right above where it says photo library, you'll see the photos you want, and you can choose them as you go through. This message, I cannot show you the voice. Okay, here's an example here. This will show it perfectly. And let's see if I can, yeah. If I hold down the photo button, I have the choice of sliding my finger up, getting a picture, or sliding it to my right and taking a live video. And this will actually send it directly to them. If I hold down the little volume button, now it can record my volume. If I slide my finger up, it's going to send it. If I slide my finger to the left, it'll delete it. If your phone is on silent and you send them an audio message and they have it set to pick up and listen, they'll hear it. But if they have it on silent and they try to play it from there, it's going to mute it. So just so you know, they would need to have their volume up or have it set to raise to listen. Okay? So then now, to delete messages is exactly the same. If you want to view the time when the message came in, slide your finger to the left and side. All that stays the same. And then of course, if you want to delete a message, you're going to hold down, hit the more button, you get the same delete feature. So all that's the same. None of that has actually changed since iOS 7. As far as your phone calls, all that pretty much has stayed the same there. You really haven't got any different changes on there. Now, your App Store has a few changes. There's a few things that they've added in the App Store. For one, it's got a whole different format. So you got a whole different format in the App Store. For two, when you go into your updates now, like I said, they pop up like this. You can see what your update is. You have, of course, Update All. It's going to show everything in here. Now, when you're on Wi-Fi, you can go out of here, and of course, you'll see the app updating right there on the top. Okay? There has been some apps that have had some flubs with this, where I've updated the app, come back in the App Store, and it says update again, update again, update again. I do it like 3, 4, 5, 7 times to do it till it finally updates. And that could be just a little bug in the iOS 8 software, but it'll probably be fixed. It might even be fixed with the new iPhone 6s, who knows. So the App Store pretty much stayed about the same. There hasn't really been that many changes with it. In Safari, you have a few changes in here. For one, let's say we go to... Alright, let's try this website here. Now, see where it says to log in? It gives me the login page. I don't remember my login. So now if I tap the share button on the bottom, alright, and I go into here, slide it across, because now these slide all, both. You got a more menu. If I tap that more, it's going to give me a lot of these different things that I can do now. The bottom 3 you can turn on or off. This is if you have the Wunderlist, AnyList, or the 1Password app. You can even move these wherever you want. So if I tap on the 1Password, it's going to bring me directly into that app. I'll get my username and password from there, and it'll automatically log me directly into this website that I'm in, because I already have it saved in my 1Password. You don't have to go and look for it anymore. Now, when you have the iPhone 6 or 6 Plus, you just hold your fingerprint ID on there and it'll automatically do it for you. But for right now, that's what you'll have to do with iOS 8. So that's a new feature that they've included in there. I'm not going to show you the Find My Friends right now. It's a few little minor changes that they've done with that one. Weather, they've only added a few little changes. More of it's going to be on the as far as iPhone 6 and 6 Plus with that. Camera, you got a few different pictures on the camera. So say you tap it, then you've got a little you have this lock now. You can also tap it and move your slider up and down. It's going to give you your contrast. You of course have a timer on the very top. If you have any photos, you can actually fix them up. You can edit them a little bit better. So the camera has a few improvements. But one thing you're going to get to is the time lapse. This is also something you're going to get included with iOS 8. This also works much better on the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus. That's going to be pretty much your features on the camera that you're going to have. Photos are a little different. Photos, I don't have any photos right now, but you can notice there's no camera roll. You're going to end up with photos, shared, and of course your albums. And that's pretty much what your photos are going to be. As far as notes and reminders, those stay the same. Most of all these apps have pretty much stayed the same. They have not really improved that much, is what it is. So, there's not much more of iOS 8 that I can show you. There are some things with Siri you can do. If you have Siri plugged into power, you can actually activate Siri just by saying, "Hey Siri." That's a feature that has been working okay. It's not the best in the world, but it's alright. And that's one of the features that they have in there. The rest of the stuff is pretty much cosmetic. There's a few things in there that are a little hidden. Let's say we go into your messages. And now you have that little emoji on the bottom. If I hold that emoji down, now I get the option of turning predictive text on or off, go into English, and going into emoji. So if I hold this here, I can turn on my predictive text. If I want to switch, you can go to third-party keyboards if you want. So you have a couple of little aesthetic changes in there that you can do. And that's some hidden features that are in there that you can include. So what I'm going to do is, this is just my basic tutorial over iOS 8. Once my iPhone 6 Plus comes in, I will give you guys a more extensive view of iOS 8 as well as the iPhone 6 Plus and what it is and how it looks and how it works and those things. The functionality with the fingerprint IDs and those things as well. So if you guys want to see my other two previous videos on how to update to iOS 7, which is pretty much the same thing you're going to do with iOS 8, just hit the link below. Leave me any comments if you got it. Like this video and subscribe if you haven't. And like I said, I'll catch you guys later with the iPhone 6 Plus video. Thanks for watching.